This is really remarkable, a story of such tremendous courage, bravery, not always easy to live your truth, maybe because of your family, the way you were brought up, your religion, your career. One major star just came forward with his truth. He's living authentically. He's living it out loud. Amanda Salas joins me now. I will not hear a word spoken against my beloved Billy Porter, by the way.
Never, never. We love Billy Porter. We're a Billy Porter stan.
Yes,
we learned
honey,
the word stan this week.
Billy Porter.
This is a very touching story that just broke this morning. And Michaela, instead of me telling you the story, I think it's best if I just let the multi-talented, Emmy award-winning, yes, I put respect on his name, Pose star Billy Porter tell his own story. Here is the just released exclusive interview with The Hollywood Reporter.
2007 was the worst year of my life. I was in what I call my valley period, on the precipice of obscurity. March, I was signing bankruptcy papers, and by June, I was HIV positive.
Oof, I got teary-eyed just listening to that. At 51 years old, Billy explains much of his shame and silence actually comes from growing up in the Pentecostal church, where he says they believe, quote, AIDS is God's punishment for gays, end quote. Here's more.
And shame is a silencer. Shame is destructive. And I was silenced about it for a good 14 years.
Billy's in-depth interview covers all of his career accolades and accomplishments, including his role in one of your favorite shows, Michaela Pose, which won him Emmys in 2019 as a lead actor in a drama series. Now, historically, this is the first openly gay Black man to achieve the win. And I think it's very important to note, because I know you watch the show Pose, and for any of our viewers that watch the show Pose, his character's name is Pray Tell in the show.
Yes.
And he said that this was so cathartic for him because his character came out as HIV positive, and he says that this character was a surrogate for him to prepare his own personal announcement as Billy.
It's really remarkable because this proxy allowed him to sort of act out loud his own story and find the courage within that character to be able to do it. I think today about Demi Lovato, I think about Billy Porter, and I think about all, you know, they may be stars, they may be celebrities with all sorts of power and prestige, but think about the influence this is having with young people everywhere that are struggling to... Right, struggling with identity, struggling with authenticity about who am I, where do I belong? Baby, first of all, you belong. This is so powerful. As I said before, we're on the front row seat to history. This is really remarkable.
Of course, and him sharing it as so raw and real and saying that this can be an obstacle, but it doesn't have to be a barrier, you know, and he's still living his best life as Billy Porter. I mean, just in the last 5 years alone, rising to even bigger stardom than he has on the stage, you know?
By the way,
as a household name.
Here's important things to remember. Being HIV positive in 2021 is a vastly different diagnosis or reality even from when he first discovered it 14 years ago, or even before, when you think of the 80s when countless young men and women were being taken by this horrific disease. With proper care and with proper medication, people can live with an HIV diagnosis. Obviously, he is, right?
And they do, and he is, exactly. And holding this in for 14 years and just letting it out in such a real and raw way. It's a side of Billy that we haven't seen before.
You know, we have a lot to learn in terms of acceptance, right? But this normalizing conversations around this is part of that, and that the onus is on us to be part of that. As society begins to recognize that we all have different stories and different realities, and that's okay. That's what makes for a vibrant society. Part of this is sharing these stories, to be sure.
Absolutely, and it's a bigger picture too when you realize that it's not just these celebrities sharing their stories. They're sharing it so that everyday people, maybe some of our viewers who are watching, can relate and find comfort in their truth.
So they feel heard, feel seen, represented. Their stories matter as well, because they do.
Absolutely.
Well, Amanda, wasn't this a moment? Thank you so much for it.
It's a big day. Yes, thank you.
And blowing kisses to Billy Porter today.